Welcome to this episode of The Green Room on LMTV. Tonight's show is sponsored in part by the Video Repair Shop. Be it a VCR, camcorder, or answering machine, Linda always offers fast professional service. Browse through the gift shop while you wait. The Video Repair Shop, 805G Elliott Road in Paradise. Tonight's show comes to you almost live from Stormy's Off-Broadway Bar and Grill, 132 West 2nd Street in Chico. Come in for lunch or dinner and a warm atmosphere. Well, it looks like Mick and Morgan are ready to start the show now, so we'll see you at the close.
Hi, welcome back to the Green Room. We're here with Stevie Cook. Hi, Stevie.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
So tell us a little about your lovely European trip that you got back from just a little while ago.
That was quite interesting. Yeah, I spent a good part of my summer over in Europe this year. Took my guitar, many CDs and cassettes as I could carry, and just cruised around. Had a car over there, rented a car, and basically went over there to play music. And I had some things set up before I went, and a lot of free time in between, so I ended up doing the street music thing too. Just being the guy on the street with my guitar case open. That's where I actually had the most fun, was in that kind of situation.
Busking, as they say in
Busking,
Britain.
yeah. And it was not even so much that being there, but it was meeting people doing that, and then them inviting you over to their house for the real party. And
I see.
Yeah,
That's great.
And I think that was the most enjoyable thing about the whole trip, was just meeting people and just having a good time. And they'd pull out their instruments, and whatever country I was in, I always found musicians, and everybody had musical instruments in their house.
Did you find there was a language barrier at all, or
Does
everybody speak English?
A lot of people speak English over there, surprisingly. In Holland, I spent a good amount of time in Holland. I love that place. And everyone speaks better English than I do. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they're really, they all get 5 years of English in high school, or in the basic school system. So.
What countries did you go to other than Holland?
I went to England. I started out in England, but I only stayed there for a few days, and I want to do that as a separate trip sometime. Just do the British Isles, Scotland, Ireland. So I didn't do that, but I landed in London, then I went to Belgium, and then to Holland, Amsterdam, and then Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, Spain, and France.
Oh, marvelous.
Did you have an itinerary set up? Did you just kind of
Yeah, I
on
had
the
some
fly?
things set up. I had people that I knew over there that were kind of waiting for me and stuff, and but I had so much free time, and I'm really glad I did, because that's where I got the most out of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't in the big cities, it was in the little villages and stuff, and getting out of that kind of area with the real roots kind of people was where I had the most fun.
Was your CD well received?
Yeah, I sold a lot of them, I gave a lot away.
We know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was fun.
Did you find that there's influences in your music, new songs, inspiration that came out of it?
I wrote a song that I'll play later that I wrote in Amsterdam, and it gives you a whole different slant on life when you go to a different culture. Pretty much, everything's just different. The way they do things, the energy. Europe's fast. It's not a kickback place like going to Mexico. I always think of going to vacation is like Mexico or something. They're cruising over there in Europe. It was like fast-paced living, and
Even for a busker on a street corner. Eh?
yeah, but it was fun. It was different.
So now that you're back, are you doing any big projects?
I'm getting ready to do another CD again. See, I'm kind of in the middle of bands too, because my drummer's moving away
We heard about that.
to New York.
Yes.
Jimmy Faye's moving, and our guitar player Rich just moved to Nashville. About a month ago. So, I'm in the process of putting a new band together. So it's kind of like, oh boy.
That kind of leaves you and
It's
the
a loss.
bass player,
It's a
doesn't it?
loss, and then it's also an
Yes.
adventure. And so I'm just kind of auditioning people right now. I've been having people come over and just hang out and play music, and wait until I feel like I get the right feeling combination. And then I got a bunch of materials, and I'll do another record.
So in the meantime, you're going to be doing a solo acoustic performance for us today.
Yeah.
And you got the material all chosen. Is going to be new material from the record you're going to
Yeah,
be putting out?
it's all new stuff that probably most people haven't heard yet. I want to do fresh stuff, move forward. So.
Okay. Well, let's hear some of those.
Okay.
You ready?
Good. Yeah.
Okay, so are we.
All
Be
right.
great.
All right, the first song I want to do is a song I wrote, half of it on a beach in Mexico and the other half of it up in Fort Bragg on the beach there. So it's ocean-inspired music. It's called The Universe is Saying. Well, the coolest thing I ever saw was the ocean breaking on the beach. And the sweetest sound I ever heard was through a bird the spirits teach. Parrotfish and angelfish in a warm sea. So much beauty that is surrounding me. Could not get away from the voices that are calling me. The universe is saying, when you give thanks, I rush to bring you more. The universe is saying, when you will knock, I'll take you through the door. In another space and time, you and I were one mind. Then we split into 2 or 3, and we arrived as a family. It isn't really very hard to recognize something so familiar in those eyes. I cannot get away from the voices that are calling me. The universe is saying, when you give thanks, I rush to bring you more. The universe is saying, if you will knock, I'll take you through the door. Well, you got something deep inside, baby, make you feel so satisfied. And if you lighten up your load, you know you're really gonna love this ride. Used to wanna slow it down and shut it up. No way I could hold it in my little cup. Could not get away from the voices that were calling me. The universe is saying, when you give thanks, I rush to bring you more. The universe is saying, if you will knock, I'll take you through the door. The universe is saying, when you give thanks, I rush to bring you more. The universe is saying, if you will knock, I'll take you through the door. Right. This next one I want to do is a song that my son lives up in Washington, and he's been going to school up there, and he writes poems. He sends me poems in the mail all the time, so I decided to try to put one to music, and this one fit pretty easily. The music just kind of poured out and kind of wrote itself. So it's called Lunar Love. On a perfect beach I resting lay. A gentle breeze aroused me then from sleep, and I felt at the graceful end of day. The sun descending to the ocean deep. It was then her gypsy eyes did appear. I saw a fading light within each eye. From my eye there sprung a single tear, and I smiled madly, for I knew I'd die. The wolf howls, the sea rages, the seagull screams. My twisted mind snaps, and my dark heart bursts. The ruthless and frantic though it seems, for that fading light my soul ever thirsts, with resolve that the ending should not come soon. I drowned in the light of the waning moon. All right. Let's see. This next one I wrote, I was actually in Europe when I wrote most of this one, and just hoping I remember the words to it. It's called Walking Through This World. I knew a man, he lived alone down by the water. He built a wall around his heart so none could enter. He sighed inside his kingdom, the dead time slowly passing. What am I doing here? This isn't what I wanted. I spend my life
living in a little shell, walking through this world, walking through this world alone. I wonder if there is something out there somewhere, walking through this world, walking through this world alone. Oh, whoa. He feels the fire now, the pressures are mounting. He knows his days are numbered, but he is not counting. He had acquaintances, but no one could really touch him. He couldn't risk that much, it wasn't worth the trouble. I spent my life in a lonely little shell, walking through this world, walking through this world alone. This is not right, this is not the life I wanted. Walking through this world, walking through this world alone. Whoa. And all the fortresses he'd built, they started falling. And from the shambles he could hear a small voice calling. He ran and picked it up, his poor heart barely beating. What have I done? I only wanted to protect you from all the pain out there, but I nearly let you die. This is my life, this is all that I've been missing. Walking through this world, walking through this world alone. No more, I say, will I hide myself in sorrow. Walking through this world, walking through this world alone. This is my life, this is all that I've been missing. Walking through this world, walking through this world alone. No more, I say, will I hide my head in sorrow. Walking through this world, walking through this world alone. Oh, standing at the wishing well, come from stone and ivory. Standing at the wishing well, come from stone and ivory. All right, thank you. I'd just like to do one more tune. This one I'd like to do as an instrumental piece. and I wrote it up on Butte Creek, sitting there one day on the beach. Used to be called Sweat Beach, and it's a place we've gone for years and years. And then the huge weather thing that happened and knocked the bridge out last year up there kind of changed the whole beach. And this year there was hundreds of turtles up there, so I changed the name to Turtle Beach.
Thank you.